smoking my best friend's homegrown weed.
Right, there, welcome back. Okay, 4-hour split shift today. It's 20 past 10, came straight to the garage. I'm back at work at 2 o'clock, so I've got to make use of this time, otherwise I'm just wasting time, and this week is all the way through like that. So I may make this video in 2 or 3 bits, I may not, it depends, I don't know at this early point, but I'm going to get started. I need to make some little struts that go underneath here. Just want one across the middle to bolt down to, and one across the front to bolt the front down to. And once I can bolt this thing down to the bike, then I know exactly where it's going to sit, and I can start trimming where I want to trim and shortening whatever I want to do with it, and including taking that rear point out. So that's why I'm not going to bother putting any more filler in the outside and wasting any more time on that, because I'm going to change the back, and that will mean doing it all again. So today is just harvesting materials. This is the original subframe for the bike, the one that came from the Kawasaki, and it's made from 4mm thick box section aluminium. It's super lightweight, the whole thing just weighs about 1 kilo and a bit, that's it. So I'm going to use that as my materials. Would have probably sold this on eBay for quite a few quid, because they're worth it, especially if someone's wheelied a bike. These are quite difficult. I imagine they're impossible to get from Kawasaki now. However, if you remember the project, you've been watching long enough, I pinched the back of this in. I got that a spring compressor, and I jacked this in, heated it, and I pulled this back end in together so it's more narrow and pointed to get that pointed tail in the original one. So I can't sell it on eBay because it's not in its original shape now, but I can harvest materials from it, which will save me money buying those materials. So every cloud, silver lining. There's plenty of straight bits in it, sort of from there to there, all the way down, that's straight. So I can cut these little centre spars off, and I'll get loads of other little short bits that I can use for here and there. So it's good material. So that's the task today. Cut this up into usable pieces, clean off all the paint and stuff, and when I come to use it, because it's thick box section, super thick, I can put 8 or 10mm riv nuts in that as stainless steel thread. So it's going to be a really good way to mount this on the bike, super strong and a lot better than wood, which was one suggestion, but I think this is definitely the better way to go. So anyway, let's get harvesting and see how much work I can get done in the next 3.5 hours. Wish me luck.
People ask me, are you afraid to die alone? Well, I say, I died a long time ago. Well, I say you are, I died a long time ago. Well, I've had Willie playing on my car radio, and I've heard wailing while I was doing the line of blow. Seemed like yesterday was a long time ago, when people ask me, are you afraid to die alone? That's what I say, y'all. I say you are, I died a long time ago. I say you are, I died a long time ago. Just an old empty bottle, it's staring back at me. Used to be such good old friends to that day back in '63. Met my friend when I was young, I should know my daddy's name, because of my dear old friend I'm sitting here in the penitentiary. Oh, come on, join me now.
Right. Here we are. Lots of raw material harvested. I can use that for all kinds of things. It'll just go in the stockpile and I can use it whenever. Some of it I've left kind of in its original pieces, because you never know, something may come up that I can use that on. So rather than cut the whole lot up into little tiny short bits, I will do that. That's what I wanted, was that one piece to go across the back. just clean the paint off, nothing else. I'm not going to grind the aluminium back, there's no need for that, no need to make it any thinner. Get all the paint off, get them sussed out, and then I can see what sort of length they need to be and start offering them up.
Way no right way when you meet the one. It's the one that makes you want to stay, not makes you want to run. That's what they say. That's what they've said from day one. Well, it'll happen when you're not looking, never knowing where it might come from. Well,
Right, turns out I've got two different thicknesses. The long piece underneath, that's actually 2mm thick, and that is about 3.5. So doesn't really make any difference, even at 2mm thick. 2mm wall box section aluminium, that is well strong. When you consider the steel tubing on many bike frames is only 1mm or 1.5mm, so 2mm thick box section, well strong, no problems. Right, now that's got several lengths of decent quality motorcycle frame quality box section alley harvested and ready to use. The first bit I need goes across there, cut to the relevant length, and that will give me the main support to sit on. It's just a case of, this has got lots of rib nuts and holes already in it, so it's a case of finding the best bit. It's that bit there, the most virgin bit.
And she was looking at me, yes she was. So I gathered up my courage, walked to table number 3. Oh man, she was beautiful, glistened in the light. Put my hand around her and it felt just right, so I pulled her closer. Yeah, I pulled her closer to me. And someone yelled, "She's mine!" I thought, now that just can't be. Well, he walked on up behind us, grabbed her by the neck. I jumped up from my chair and yelled, "Hey, what the heck? Take her here." Yeah, what did they do?
Alright, there we are. First piece of harvested box section alley. And it's motorcycle frame grade, because that's what it came from, which is quite cool. Now there's a few holes in it where I've had previous riv nuts. I knocked out the old riv nuts so they don't need them anymore. And that won't make any difference. Riv nuts don't make it stronger. The holes won't make it weaker either. Honestly, ain't going anywhere. But what you're dying to know, and so am I. So how much does that weigh? Alright, here we go. Let's do it in grams. There you go. 0.14. Is that what? 140 grams? Does it even weigh anything? So put it in old money. Half an ounce. There you go. Half an ounce. Win-win.
Trembling hands. Well, I'm sweating like a dog, waiting for the clock to strike 12. That's the life of an outlaw man.
Okay, the clay is just there to hold that piece of tubing in the correct orientation. It's got to be dead flat that way so I can bolt straight up into it in relation to where the tail sits, and it's just a curve in there, so there's no reference points, there's no flats to put it on, so the clay will just hold it for now. I'm just going to get fiberglass in it in and then take the clay out of the way. The clay won't stay there, believe me. Alright, so it's just held in place with the clay for the moment. and there's, as you might be able to see, there's clay in 3 places. I don't want to move it because it's absolutely held fast exactly where it's meant to be. So that bit there and there has no clay, so I'm just going to put some strips across there first and just let that dry and set so it holds it. Then I can hoik the clay out and then I can just glass the whole thing in. So stage 1.
Every night now, eyes in the back of my head. I've almost died every day now for 49 years. Tell you all, I still ain't dead. I still ain't dead.
There we are, 6 layers or strips of matting over each side. That's absolutely got it in every way. That is strong as an ox now. That's strong enough to bolt to, but I'm just going to put 1 or 2 layers, just this remaining couple of little pieces of matting, just over the whole thing, just to make it look good, because obviously I'm possibly going to leave that. I don't know whether I'll put an under tray underneath there. I've got another plan possibly for like a half under tray and then a little tail tidy, some sort of affair, but I think if I can make that purdy inside and make it look nice, then I can at least leave it showing. I can body work it and do all sorts of things to make that part of the design. I don't know, just working with it as I go, thinking of new ideas all the time. But as far as strength is concerned, that is proper beef. So what I'm going to do now, like I said, mix up some more resin, slap these last 2 pieces of matting over, and that's it for today.
Born in 46, raised up in the sticks, somewhere in North Carolina. We spent a lifetime making.
Right, boom, there we go. Excellent. Okay, now I've marked a little cross there. As you can see, that's where the strut goes across. That's its position, nice and close, and that's going to give me a nice solid mount behind. I just have to bring a couple of little metal struts up off the understructure to meet that bar, and then riv nuts bolt into it, piece of cake. As for the front, that's going to be even easier. I've got this piece of steel going across here that is the mainstay of the frame, and it is 1/2 inch thick, so I was just drill into that, tap a thread straight into it, and I'll bolt straight down through the panel, straight into that, through these rubber bungs, so I can isolate a little bit of the vibrations. That makes it a bit more comfortable, but obviously I won't want the bolts sticking up because they'll stick into my legs, be uncomfortable, so I'll have to cut a little hole in that and then French it down inside, so when I bolt it down, it will be Frenched down deep, and I can put a little cap on top or something, keep it out of the way. There we go. Piece of cake. Getting there slowly. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, ride safe. See you next time.
Soaking up the sunshine, drinking in the moonlight, sharing good times with his friends. One last liquor run, then he said he was done, living a good life in the hills.